Chris O'Bob, my friends, I hope this finds you well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth is he wearing pink? It's a good question. It's such a wonderful colour, isn't it? It really is. But this is my pink stole, and I'm wearing this, or rose, as some would call it, a rose stole. I'm wearing this because it's Mother's Day. And it's actually something the church celebrates. But let's have a chat about that, shall we? Now, Mother's Day is here. Lent is fast approaching its end. We can see the palm crosses of Palm Sunday just in the distance. Then, of course, there's the cross of Good Friday. And, of course, behind that, there is the empty tomb of Easter Day. I'm here in the here and now, though. Right now, in this moment, we have this small oasis on the journey through Lent. We have this moment to stop and to give thanks for those in our lives who have fulfilled a maternal role. Now, you see, of course, Mother's Day is absolutely for mothers, but we could argue that it's a day where we honour any who have fulfilled a maternal role in our lives. Our own mothers, naturally, but what about grandmothers, or stepmothers, or adoptive mothers, aunts, sisters, friends, even our daughters to a degree? I know I've learned a heck of a lot from my daughter, and she's only 12. But today we give thanks for those who have held those sustaining, those nurturing, those maternal roles. And I mean, on my own personal journey, some of the most influential and affirming and encouraging people I have met have given that strong maternal energy. They've sustained me, they've educated me, they've encouraged, affirmed, they've challenged me when I've needed it, and they've protected me, even though we share no blood. This cross I wear in all of my videos was given to me by one such woman. Upon my ordination, she sent me this and a lovely little description of it. And even now, I take so many of her teachings forward with me. But one thing we have to address, one thing that we do need to bring out, is that today can be difficult for some. And there's no getting around that. Today can be difficult for those on either side of Mother's Day. So both those who are mothers or will never be mothers, and those who were children, who are children of someone. Those who've had difficult relationships with their own mothers. To share a little of my own story, my own childhood, I had a very rocky relationship with my mum. We were always close, but we would also fight a lot. And it was only really until I sort of got into my mid-20s that we became as close as we are now. And I've always respected her, and we're in a much better place these days. But for me, it's helped to look at the parental traits of God. Isiah 66:13 tells us, "As one whom a mother comforts, I will comfort you. You will be comforted in Jerusalem." 3 times in that one little tiny bit of the Bible, there is that word, comfort. But if I said to you, here's a magic wand, it's actually a lint roller, but if I said to you, here's a magic wand, go make the perfect mother, how would you do it? What would she be? Would she be kind, humble, patient, compassionate, gentle? Would she be forgiving, understanding? Would she be honest, but not overly so? Would she be challenging? Would she tell you when you're the one in the wrong? Would she be motivated by love in all that she does? And does all of that sound familiar? Because if it does, congratulations, you're remembering our reading from Colossians in the lectionary today. But for those of you who haven't got a lectionary, it's Colossians 3:12-17. Relax, I'll put all of this in the description. But that passage says, "Clothe yourselves with compassion, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other, forgive one another as the Lord forgave you, and over all of these virtues put on love, which binds them in perfect unity." I absolutely love that image. You've got all these moving parts, all these variables in the middle, forgiveness and all that, and it's all surrounded and united and held in love. What a beautiful image that really is. And the way St. Paul encourages the members of his early church to I say his early church, the early church, to treat each other is, in all honesty, how we should be doing it today. Of course, not everybody gets it right, but St. Paul, he was onto something way back when, really, wasn't he? And this advice that St. Paul gives persists today. Look at our own mother church. Look at how she encourages us to grow in faith, in peace, in knowledge, and indeed in love. But also, our mother church, she reaches out to the communities. There's food banks, there's fuel banks, there's warm spaces. Just this week now, our church, one of the placement churches I'm in, we welcome the parent network in. There is indeed so much outreach. Our mother church is stood and she's just waiting for people to walk into her arms. She offers freely sanctuary and aid to all who need it. But even that term in itself, our mother church. Now, if like me, you've sometimes wondered why we use that particular term, I would say you only really need to look as far as the Gospel of Luke, chapter 13:34. How often have I longed to gather you children, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. Such very maternal image, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I can't think of anything more devoted in the human or indeed the animal kingdom than a mother gathering up the young. Whether it's her own or not, it doesn't matter, just gathering up the young. But a key aspect of motherhood, sacrifice. Now we're getting to it, aren't we? You see, you sacrifice your bodies for us. You sacrifice your sleep. You sacrifice your time. You sacrifice your energy. You sacrifice your own hobbies, your own interests. You sacrifice your tears. Oh, so often you sacrifice that last piece of cake. And all of these sacrifices can be boiled down to one word: love. You sacrifice because you love us. There's no purer form of mortal love than motherhood. However you occupy that role, believe me, you're there. And remember those words that we just heard from the passage from Colossians: bear with each other, forgive one another, put on love which binds them all. In forgiving each other, sometimes, we lose the battle. We sacrifice the issue. We let go whatever it is that's between two of us that have a dispute. But in doing that, you gain so much more. We can heal. In forgiveness, we can heal. In sacrifice, we can also find healing. We can, as St. Paul tells us, forgive as God forgives. And to do all of this in love. And there is that theme again, love. My friends, as we start to come in towards landing, excuse me, it was love that motivated God to send his son Jesus Christ to earth. It was love that motivated St. Paul to plant the churches that he did. It was love that motivated St. Peter to continue to preach the word of the Lord. As much as Peter falls down, it was love that kept him getting back up. We hear in John 21:15-17, Jesus asking Peter if he loves him. And of course, Peter says, yeah, of course I do. You're the boss, you're the capo, you're the don. Of course I love you. And what's Jesus' answer? Feed my sheep. In that moment, Jesus is not thinking about himself. He's not even thinking of Peter. He's thinking of us. He's thinking of me and you. He's saying to Peter, feed my sheep. Look after the guys because they're going to need it, bud. Love brought Mary into accepting her destiny in becoming Jesus' mother. That scared teenage girl, she was all over it. Yeah, all right, I'll do it. No problem, I'll do it. Joseph, even when he ran away, he came back because of love. It was love that motivated Jesus' ministry. And it was love that ultimately took him to the cross. And even while he hung there, bleeding, dying and suffering, it was love that pushed Jesus to commission John to watch over his mother Mary as we hear in John 19:25-27. My brothers and sisters, Mother's Day is a special time to remember the ways in which God nurtures us, whoever he does it through. And this is the thing, there will be so many agents of the Lord in our lives that we may not even always remember them all on the off. He does it because he loves. And so he sends these wonderful, inspirational mother figures into our lives. It's a special time to remember the sacrifices made for us both by our Lord Jesus and those who've acted in his name in our lives. It's a chance for us to honour all who have accepted the call to motherhood. And what a call that is. Again, you don't have to be biological. You can hold any role, any nurturing role. It takes a village to raise a child. It's a chance for us to honour all who have sacrificed for us in the name of love. God bless, my friends, and take care.